Aelin can't help herself but to stop for a moment at those who they're passing, and just try to give them a few words of encouragement to ease their suffering.
Yeah, and they're met in kind with kind words. These people are not bitter due to their lot in life. It is something that just happens occasionally. And as you guys are kind of reaching like this area right here on the map, let me shift click. Let me do that on my DM account so you guys actually get moved. As you guys reach like the fields out here, you hear a horse galloping towards you from behind. And as you turn, you see flowing kind of golden locks, or like dirty brown golden locks in the wind. Approaching at a rapid rate is Lieutenant Dashhound. And she's riding hard, and she kind of pulls up before you. And she appears to be out of breath as if she herself was running. And she kind of looks almost a little bit angry at the group of you, and says, well, I'm glad that I caught you. Leaving without saying goodbye is quite rude in our culture.
Forgive us, Sergeant Dashhound. Here, you've been promoted.
Yeah, and she kind of just like shakes it off, and like she kind of like does her nose upturn thing as if she's mad, but she can't really be mad because you guys had an incident together that bound you for life. And she goes, well, I just had to deliver a missive, that's all. And she pulls out, clearly it's like a bundle of like maybe 2 or 3, you can't tell how many, of letters. And she kind of trots her horse, it's like a dull grayish color, up to Morella and just like shoves them into your hand, Morella.
Okay.
And once you take them, she kind of pulls back on her horse and she says, I bid you all farewell. May our paths cross again, and may Sigmar guide your path.
Yeah, and as she says that, Morella just simply says, well, surely it will cross if I need to spar against you again.
She's like, she kind of like softens for a moment and says, yes, perhaps. And I will not go easy on you this time.
You were going easy.
She before like she turns her horse and begins to like trot away, back towards the city.
Morella just simply chuckles, and I gave her the first move. As she simply looks away and looks back at Fair, and she's like, well, let us head off now. And so we head off.
All right. You begin the travel montage. So, as stated before, I don't want to spend too much time in the travel portion because there's not a whole lot going on in the Empire besides like this one thing right now.
Death and destruction of an entire city, but no big deal.
Right, yeah, totally. So, we're going to go around the table, because it is going to take, a total of 40 days to reach Middenheim, by the way. And that is before the pit stop in Altdorf, obviously. Altdorf itself is about 15 days away, so we'll just say 15 days for that. So, we're going to go around the table briefly and talk about what you guys are doing during these 2 weeks of travel, what's going on, what, like, for example, Hannibal will talk about what you've learned and that kind of stuff, what kind of interactions are had, the general demeanor of what's going on. So, I'm also going to move the the timer, and since we're not in Nuln, let me get us off that screen. Fuck that place. I'm going to move this wonderful, wonderful thing 15 days. So, there's good news and there's bad news. 1 week, 2 weeks, 15 days. So, we're not going to roll random encounters. But, probably the most important news is, you guys, during these 2 weeks, travel through some of these villages during Halfling Pie Week. Easily the most joyous occasion of all of the ones that occur in the Empire. Halfling Pie Week consists of literally just eating for an entire week until you are engorged.
Alright.
That's it. That's all it is. It's literally just eating as much as you possibly can on every day.
Not even like specifically pies.
Not even like specifically pies. Although they are the staple of the diet. There are a lot of things that could be considered pies. Right, yeah. There's apple pies and rhubarb pies and meat pies and shepherd's pie and, all kinds of different pies.
So like concepts is what you're talking about.
No, not in particular, but I do want to know how each of you, you would probably be in the town of, because it happens, you'd probably be in the town of Kemperbad, actually. Kemperbad being the town that we were in when we first discovered Count Appleton and Lord Torgar's axe with that ornate weapon. And so you're in the town of Kemperbad. It's a medium-sized town. And there is just, you could probably smell it from, half a mile away. All of the smells of baking goods and deliciousness. And Mel probably says something as you guys are approaching and says, "Oh my, it's Halfling Pie Week, isn't it? Well, if this isn't just such a joyous occasion. And in Kemperbad, no less. I heard they have an astounding blueberry pie. I must nick one before we leave."
Hey.
Now, just as a quick question, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
How far can we travel? And sorry, getting a message.
Yeah, I know, obviously. Your phone is screaming at us.
Yeah. How far and how long can one travel on horseback in a day? Does it take 8 hours? Does it take 16 hours? Type of deal.
So horses can only move about the same amount of time as people can move, unless you want to push the horses. You totally can, but we will start making rolls for the horses to see if they start to flag or not.
No. It was just wondering whether or not normal travel.
Horses travel the same amount of time as people, but they travel faster is the advantage. So it's essentially like traveling more in a day.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I really wanted to know. Mm-hmm. Whether or not we could just travel more while also traveling faster or not.
No, yeah, it's the same amount of travel per day.
Then I can tell you exactly what Marilla does. The moment we stop and things of that sort. The first stop that we do is actually she's going to ask Aelin a question.
Okay.
So
maybe you guys are setting up camp for the night, right?
Yeah. And she comes up to Aelin, and she kind of just Aelin, I have a question for you.
Of course, what is it?
Can you relieve physical stress off of someone?
Is that what they call it now?
And she says it with the most straight face.
If the physical stress is causing ailment to the body, of course I can.
I meant one through physical activities. Oh my god!
That's amazing.
I don't think I catch your meaning, Morella.
Well, obviously I meant in training. Can you not relieve physical... I suppose physical strain is a better word.
Muscle strain? Yes, I can do just that.
And she smiles at that and she's like, good. Because I will be needing of that. A lot. I will come get you when I need it.
I am here to serve.
Yeah, and essentially, any remaining time that we use that isn't riding, she is going to train.
Yeah, you're gonna do the Rocky montage of training.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
straight, not stop. Like, if it goes into the night, possibly, maybe. So,
Cool. Awesome. Awesome. So you will be just training uproariously during the travels. Sounds
yes.
great. Hannibal, you'll be studying your books kind of backwards and forwards, I assume, as it were. Cool. Awesome. What about everybody else?
Despite having had a little bit of the mystery lifted for us, Petrov still wants to know what exactly the deal is with Mel. Or
Yeah,
whoever
so
she really is.
Farron
So
also
the
gathered some
more-
information. So
Yeah.
is there a moment where maybe the two of you like ride ahead of the group and perhaps have a conversation about that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because that might help you out on that front.
So briefly recap for me.
I mean, she's essentially the boss of all of the kind of underworld in Nome.
Yes, it's much the same impression I got from Albert. But then, if she is so powerful in Nolan, why is she traveling to Middenheim now during war? And why is Lady Sylar invested in her success in this?
Aye, well, at least we probably know how Miss Sylar knows so much about everything and anything in with such close connections with such another person.
Yes, is here I had been thinking that Lady Sylar had likely informed her of our party, but now it seems it was more likely other way around.
Aye, that's probably true indeed.
So, sorry.
I do not know why she would be coming, but
Well, do you wish to try to make friends, or shall I?
Flashback
What
to the
idiots.
moment in the
Yeah.
in the Thieves Guild.
hey, no, come on, Petrov. Making certain friends is what you hired me for.
Certain friends, to be certain. Is this one of that type?
Aye, she's certainly got a spunk about her.
You're dodging question, Farron.
Aye, we shall get very well acquainted.
Well, please to keep me informed on your successes.
Of course, Petrov.
The other, I guess, somewhat important question is, Arkady, are you keeping control of the money that you've been given?
Right, I was just about to say. So he's got 1,000.
Yep.
There are nominally 6 of us in the party. Obviously, let's see, we don't have anything else we need to split it among. So I think... no, there goes Jackson. There are now 5 of us in the party. I'll be back. Fine. I think Arkady would let the others know that he had been provided with funds, and then, given that it's supposed to be for like traveling expenses, pass out 100 to each person, an extra 100 to Farron because he actually does deserve to be paid once in a while, and hang on to the rest as secret party funds.
Okay, cool. So everybody receives a stipend of 100, and Farron, you get 200.
I knew it was good to work under Petrov.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, fantastic.
Good, because
So that might
that's zero.
count that
everything.
leaves 400 with me.
Yeah, I believe that, if that math is correct.
Cool. And I mean, given that Petrov has already been called upon in the past to do things like buy Hannibal an alchemy set, which shall never be done again, I don't feel too bad about hanging on to additional funds because people can know they can trust him.
Correct, yes. You are the trustworthy portion of this party, that is correct.
That is hilarious.
Some would argue Aelin, but I don't think,
She doesn't know how money works.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Considering she probably handed you the 100 back, saying that she didn't need it, yeah, I don't know that you'd want to give her that.
What, she's not... You don't wish to take for next Temple of Shalia we cross?
My services are much more important than money.
To be certain, but both have their uses, yes?
Perhaps you should give the rest of the money in the chest to our church that we come across.
He just walks away.
This was good joke, yes. Okay, cool. I take that for Aelin, you're actually not taking the 100 gold?
100% that wasn't a joke.
Okay, yeah. So you actually have 500.
Amazing.
Arkady.
So dedicated.
Hey. So, as you guys travel through Kemerbad during Halfling Pie Week, you probably stop and rest there for the night. As you guys are kind of sitting in the tavern, which is overly crowded and like people waiting for food, Mel probably shows up with like 3 pies from some other place somewhere, and provides like a blueberry and apple and probably like some form of meat or shepherd's pie for the group. And so, as well, I need to get back to this because you guys actually have money again, and I need to get back to it. We've actually passed 2 weeks, and we'll make it a third just to be safe of that lovely thing we haven't had to do in quite some time. But the upkeep.
Expenses.
Yeah.
Bye 100 gold.
So, how would everybody like to spend their expenses? And where is my Excel spreadsheet?
So, super luckily, you guys have a ranger in the party now.
Do.
Whoa!
You do.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That is exciting.
Where is the thing?
It means we won't roll terribly when going through terrain.
Oh no. That's not what it means. Because that's still gonna happen.
No, yeah, that's still 100% gonna happen.
No. He
This
meant
means
as
we
an...
don't have food problems anymore.
Yeah.
Correct,
Ever again.
yes.
Yes.
You guys can essentially get a free upgrade on that. Because you still have to pay for people to cook it.
I can cook. I mean, not well.
I would suggest you pay for people to cook it.
I would suggest this as well.
But
Well, we could just get Arkady to. He's our in-house chef.
I was just gonna say, ask Arkady. He can make pancakes and stuff.
It's true. Where's the second?
I don't know. Imperial animals seem weak and stringy.
Oh my god.
That's awesome. I love it. Love it.
So if it's an automatic upgrade, then 7 gold per week would get us comfortable.
You got it. 7 gold per week would get you comfortable.
Sounds nice. And it's 3 weeks, so 21 gold.
That is correct.
I love eating raw food. I'm just gonna sleep on my pet Noct here. Yeah, lizard men.
So you're living poor, I assume?
I am living as poor as possible. I do not take shelter from these humans.
Right, correct. So, Arcadi... I'm actually just making a new spreadsheet, because I couldn't find my old one. It's here somewhere, I just don't have it. Comfortable. Alright, fantastic. For 3 weeks. Excellent. Cree is going to be... what's the name for it? I think it's Squalor?
Squalid.
I mean, wretched is even lower, but yeah.
Oh, but wretched is probably what it would be.
Well, wretched is free.
Oh, that's perfect. Then.
Yeah, so you get Squalid because you get a free upgrade.
Yeah, Rangers.
Cool.
Seriously, like a silver per day would put you up to poor at least.
Nah.
It's all about role-playing.
Uh-huh. You're just gonna
The
leave him out
ground.
there in the mud? Okay.
Yeah, the mud is way more comfortable than a bed. I don't know
Don't
what
worry,
you're thinking.
Morella will have a conversation with Petra. If he gets too many rabies, we put down the beast. It's okay.
It's good.
We just need someone to clean him every morning.
We make
Considering I
Aelin.
don't wake up till like 12.
Yeah, he's pretty much asleep on Noct for like the first half of the day. Marilla,
And Noct
are
is
you
asleep at
living comfortably?
Yeah.
All right. So that is
Yeah, she's not used to like her wealthy standards anymore, like she was at the beginning of
you
traveling.
did hold on to
Slowly
that for quite some
learns what
time.
money means.
Mm-hmm.
So Farron, you also get a free upgrade should you choose to play, so you can actually get a double upgrade
Damn.
Damn.
because you're a bard. But you do have to play, like you do have to work, right? And there is
Yeah,
stuff
of course.
behind that.
Work for it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of going wealthy.
Okay, and that would be 7 gold per week.
Yes, because that's
Mhm.
technically comfortable.
I thought that was uncomfortable.
That'd be 14 gold per week.
But he
comfortable.
gets
Oh, double
He gets
upgrades,
double
right.
upgrade.
Oh, double upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah.
shit.
It's not bad.
Wealthy. Farron's living the good life.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. So, what you call it? Technically, Aelin, you also get 2 free upgrades. Technically, as long as you agree to stay in the church or preach.
And
Just
I
gonna
was
stop her.
planning on doing both,
Right.
so that's
Totally.
a no-brainer.
Okay. So, would you be poor then because you would go free
Correct.
and then okay. So you were living the poor lifestyle. Okay. Perfect. And I assume Hannibal has answered. I just wasn't reading chat. Modest. Okay. Cool. So you're taking the one in between, the one below comfortable. Hannibal. Modest.
Man, this mud is so nice and cool. Ugh.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. Awesome. So
We've got a cardboard box.
We've done that up to
It's fine.
Altdorf, so we'll do it again when we do the
Nope.
next set of montagey things. But like I said, this is all basically paid for, right? Like you all received your money to cover the expenses to get there, and free horses, which is great.
I like just the range that we have. We have squalid all the way up to wealthy.
Yeah, no, you got people sleeping literally in the dirt, which is probably both. Aelin's probably on like some pallet somewhere in the back of a church, or like small. In fact, in Kemperbad there probably is a temple, but in other places, you probably like somebody has to probably like take you in, right?
I was just gonna say, I'm probably being taken in by local families.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
such.
that's probably how it works in like other places or like small farmhouses or something. You know, and Kree is sleeping on the ground with Noct like he normally does, and that's fine for him. And then like Arcadi and Marilla have like their own rooms. Hannibal, you probably have your own room just by happenstance of there's nobody else to room with you, but it's not quite as spacious. It might have like a small like stool and like table, right, to like read at for you. But Morel and Arcady have like a full desk. Farron, you're probably on a second level. You have a window. You might even have a balcony. Like, you are living your best life, and probably much happier for that as well.
Indeed.
But you also have to work for it, right? Like, you have to go down and play and all that other fun stuff.
That's fine. It just means I get even more adoring fans.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, he does a job that he actually loves. So,
Absolutely. Cool.
you know, when he's not stabbing people to death or shooting them.
Or getting RKO'd out of nowhere.
And having a deep,
Yeah.
deep, deep chest wound.
Are you totally ready to turn into a giant crocodile, Farron?
Totally.
Perfect.
Already am a
It's-
giant
Good.
crocodile.
That's true. That's true. So Halfling Pie Week and expenses go off as they would normally. Also, should be noted, no one has to pay for Mel. Mel has plenty of coin for herself.
So it seems.
And yeah, so after 15 days, well, I guess hold on, we should go back to what you guys are doing throughout the 15 days as well, because we spoke to Morella. Morella's basically just training the whole time. Hannibal is just like studying his books and stuff. But Farron and Arcady, we kind of got sidetracked a little bit. Would you guys like confront Mel at any point during your travels?
Confronting isn't really what we do. Farron said he's going to handle it, and Arcady
Okay.
trusts it.
Okay, all right. So Farron, how would you go about doing that throughout your 2-week journey to Altdorf?
So, just general conversations. If we're staying in the town for a little bit, then I would immediately offer my service as her escort and such.
Yeah, and I think initially she'd be like, escort to where, Farron?
Oh, come now. Have you never just taken a stroll through a town just because you can?
And she probably says, there are a lot of things I do just because I can, but particularly this place does not interest me. Perhaps another time, Farron dear.
Why is Farron attracted to the tough nuts to crack?
Because Farron's attracted to all of the nuts.
It's true. It's true. But I think that eventually, through persistence, I assume, Farron, there is probably a one of the nights during the road when you guys are probably camping, like next to the forest or whatever. Mel is probably sitting at like the edge of the firelight. Maybe like you see her like twirling those daggers, and you can see now she has 3 of them in total. And she's like twirling them on one finger kind of absent-mindedly, and like stopping them with one finger and spinning them the other direction and stopping them and spinning them one direction and stopping them. You probably see she probably like gets up from whatever she was doing. Maybe she was like pretending to sleep or something. She probably like gets up and walks off a little ways, maybe you like there's a moment where like you guys lock eyes or whatever. Maybe you're on watch or something, and she just like nods her head for you to follow. I assume that you do.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So you follow, and she's kind of she's still like spinning the daggers on her fingers, and she's like, Farron, dear, will you come here? Could you stand by this tree for me?
Of course, Mel.
Good. And she kind of like positions you with your back to the tree, and seemingly out of nowhere, she pulls an apple out. And she's like, I'm going to need you to do me a favor, Farron, dear. Stand very, very still.
Aye, it's time for some target practice, is it?
She's like, yes. She's like, now open wide. And she expects you to open up her mouth so she can stick the apple in there.
Okay. Fine. Yep, totally. It's fine.
Okay.
Apple in mouth.
No joke. And so, yeah, she puts the apple in your mouth and says, okay, let me know if your jaw's about to hurt. I'd rather not you spit out the apple and I miss now. These can be very sharp. And you can see, like, she pulls out, like, one of her hairs, and just splits it on the blade, like, immediately. Like, they're razor sharp.
Oh, is that how it is? Eye gesture.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, totally. And she takes a few, like, kind of, like, wide steps, like over-exaggerated, like, measuring steps. And she turns around, she says, okay, stand very still now. And she's spinning around, and Farron, are you at all nervous at this point?
I mean, you're getting knives thrown at your face. There's no degree of not being nervous, but I'm not currently shatting oneself. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. So she's spinning the knives, and she kind of like looks, and you see her close one eye, and she stops the knives, and she kind of takes her arm back, and you see her wind up, and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
15's not high enough on this one. 16 is what I was looking for, actually. So you flinch for a moment, and you do that thing where you, like, open your eye and look around, and you can see her. She's, like, standing at the end, and she's, like, tapping like a finger on her chin. She's like, I was a little off. And so, like, maybe you're like, wait, where? And you go to move your head, and two of the knives are directly on either side of your temples, embedded in the tree, and, like, almost holding your head in place. And you look down, and the other one is directly in between your legs, embedded in the tree as well. And she goes, oh well. And she begins to approach. Do you just stand there?
Yeah, it's... No, I'm like, sigh of relief. I'm not dead quite yet.
Right. Yeah. So she walks over, and she puts a hand, like, on the tree trunk next to you, and her face is, like, maybe, like, 6 inches away from yours. And she says, you will not woo me in this manner, Farron. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you answer with the apple in your mouth, or do you, like, spit it out?
I spit it to the ground and go, of course, I know this.
Okay. Yeah, and she, like, yanks the knife out from, like, in between your legs and just, like, taps the bridge of your nose with it and says, good, I'm glad we're on these terms. And pulls both knives out and walks back towards the camp, leaving you there in silence.
I just sit next to the tree for a while.
Yeah. Cool. So, Kree, what about you during your 15-day journey? I assume that the rest of the party maybe wants to get to know Kree a little bit better, right?
Actually, yes, because Marilla's going to spar with him.
This is very unfortunate for the group because Noct is there. Noct is following the group, but 98% of the time, Kree is just missing. He's just not following along the, like, caravan trail that we have going here. He's off in the woods, surrounding the trail, gathering resources like herbs and food, and all manner of just anything he can find. It's what he does.
Yeah, so it's mostly
Normally
like
Noct would be with him.
it's mostly like during the nighttime portions where you come back to camp and deliver your stuff that there would be an opportunity to like actually talk.
And unfortunately, you know, lizards aren't the greatest night people. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like, energetically, we probably see, like, Murillo, who's been training probably nearly all day, seeing Kree come back. And she's just like, come, will you not spar with me? I wish to test your skills myself.
Okay. Gets up, plants his lance in the ground, pulls out his sword, and just kind of hobbles into an open area. Waves his head. Come on, Noct. Come on.
And she, like, waits, like, for this entire, like, theatrical thing you're putting. Perhaps maybe she's thinking that, like, oh, you're just doing this just to deceive her. And, you know, you're really ready to fight.
So, Kree finishes. He's there. All right, let's go, Morella. Let's.
And the moment you say her name, she's already, like, charging you. How do you react to this?
I don't. Noct does. Noct jumps right in front of you. Jumps right in front of you and lunges, and he swipes his tail at you. Actually, just this giant creature just slams into your way.
Now, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a reasonably strong woman.
You are.
Could
This is
I grab?
a reasonably strong lizard.
He's also big, I understand this. But could I reasonably, if one were to swing their tail at me, grab said tail? Knock a little bit.
I don't think you'd be able to like throw him around, but you might be able to catch the tail and like not take the blow, yeah. But throwing Noct,
Okay.
Noct is probably heavier than any 5 of you combined at this point.
Probably.
Mostly because he's fat.
Noct is actually super fat. It's not just all muscle.
Yeah, no, he's actually pretty lazy. Hello?
Hi, Jackson.
What?
Go
I
back
want
to me to now.
comments on that.
Okay. What was your comment?
That Noct was fat.
Oh, yes, he is. He's fat.
Anyways,
Fat little lizard.
He is.
she probably like would absorb the blow and then try to tip Knock over on his back then, because that's more reasonable.
Well, obviously, the tail blow is meant to push you away entirely.
Well, you could try.
Yeah,
Jordan
make
made
a
the thing for this.
Yeah, what's up, Jackson?
You made a thing just for this.
I did?
You mean the dueling thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So it would probably be, if a saving throw or a check. And Morella, if you're trying to, like, physically beat Noct, then you have to beat a 19.
Yeah. So, either way, athletics or a strength saving throw, they're both +9.
Mhm.
So I'll just roll a strength save.
Sounds good.
If he rolls a save, she has an advantage on it. Because you can't have a proficiency on an ability check, just strength.
Right. So then we'll just do strength.
Well, yeah, no, you could roll a saving throw. I'm doing the saving throw rolls because I want characters' proficiencies to matter.
Then his score would be slightly
then,
higher. It would be an
it's
additional 4.
23.
Right?
Yeah, it's 23.
That's what I was saying.
Okay. So, alright.
Jackson's done.
Just gotta beat a 23. I
You
Did.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Damn.
So it's definitely it's a success. It's a minor success. You only beat it by 2. So like you're able to absorb the blow and like push Noct back, and Noct digs his claws in and is pushed back a few feet. He's unable to deflect you, and he probably like you see Noct like Noct's probably tired too. He's also a cold-blooded creature.
Oh yeah.
But he probably like picks up his leg. And Creed, you like jump off of it and leap at Morella?
Oh, I'm not on Noct. I'm behind him.
No,
like
I mean like leap over Noct at Morella.
Oh no. Kree is like he's like when you're tired and you're standing up and you sort of slouch over a little bit. That's Kree. He's done already. This is too late at night for him.
Okay. So Morella, you have the advantage in this moment. What would you like to do with it?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to try to knock back and attempt to knock him prone.
Like tip him over? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so roll it. That's going to be a strength for you.
Mhm.
I think that Noct... you can have advantage, though, because you have the advantage on this check.
So,
Noct would
because
probably...
he's large, will have advantage as well. He's a size larger.
Right,
and that's,
exactly.
normally.
Yep.
So it's both of us have advantage.
Yep,
So
correct.
whoever just rolls higher wins, essentially. So, you ready? Go for it.
So roll
I want to
saving
see what I
throws
need.
for Noct
No,
and for...
You're the one attacking. You have the right to go first.
All right.
That's a good point.
So, beat a
25.
25.
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, so you hook like one of Noct's legs, you lift it up, and then he like rolls on his side. Kree, I'm assuming you dodge out of the way at least.
No. I get.
Yeah. So Kree gets
Not
like
just topples on top of me.
topples on top of him and like Noct rolls a few times. And Marilla, you charge up on Kree, who is like flattened in the ground right now. And I assume you just like spear point.
Yeah. Blood end, obviously.
Right. Sure. Yeah. Kree is asleep on the ground.
She just chuckles and she's like, looks at Nock as she like probably like she probably puts out her hand apologetically because she tipped over Nock.
Yeah.
Noct still on the ground is also now asleep.
Yeah, Noct like stretches out like a cat, and like turns around like 3 times and then goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up, realizes Kree isn't there, and then goes and curls around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cold blood, man.
Truly a
It
unique
sucks.
victory, your ladyship.
Yeah, Mel is just from
I
the
should probably.
sidelines.
I'll have to get them in the morning next time. They seemed lacking.
There may be other ways of getting to know a person aside from hand-to-hand combat.
You know, I've never tested you, Petrov.
You would first have to
Interesting.
find him.
Is this challenge, your ladyship?
No, it is late in the night. I should probably rest.
Yeah.
I have been training all day.
And everybody with a good chuckle tucks in for that particular night,
I don't laugh.
except for Hannibal.
I read.
Hannibal reads into the night. Aelin,
Yes.
during your 15-day journey, what occupies your time?
I think that a couple of things, but one of them would involve sharing with Arkady the news that Nelma gave her.
Okay. So is this another sitting around the campfire scene, or is this like on the road?
I think it possibly could be on the road,
Okay.
while on the horses, just kind of, we either flagged a bit behind or,
Shadowfax and
out of-
Russian Shadowfax.
yes. Shadowfax and Doppelganger. Shadowfax. I
They
can
look
shoot.
nothing alike.
I think that's the best part, though.
That's the best part, though,
Yeah.
right? We make like a... Never mind. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't know. I think Aelin should just say, Akadi, I've heard some interesting news about Anders. A possible weakness of his.
Really? I have been endeavoring to learn more of him, but there has been little that any have been willing to share. What have you heard?
Apparently, he's been bestowed a weakness by his goddess, possibly a price for his power. It appears he has had some retainers he was close to, possibly sworn to protect. But who these charges could be, I think for a long moment she pauses and kind of looks forward at Mel. And then I think she shakes her head for a second and says, who knows, but perhaps this could be the key to preventing this madness.
I am not certain I understand. His deity has given him retainers to make him weaker.
No, they are his weakness. His goddess does not just give freely, apparently. He needs to have some sort of, how do you say, fallback plan, should he choose not to be as devout.
Interesting. And what would this mean if he no longer followed the path of this goddess?
Goodbye to his power.
I am not certain from what I have seen him. From what little I have seen of him, I am not certain he is walking the Paladin's path.
From where his power comes, I believe it is the Lady of the Lake, but that is all I know.
Still, this is good to know. Thank you. Who, may I ask, who knew this of Anders?
The church knows of many secrets.
Akari makes a mental note that he really has to get some spies in churches.
Yeah, totally. Remember how important religion is in this setting. It is.
Oh, I know. It's just
hyper important.
God, why do they know so much?
I know.
I spoke to Lady Siler on similar matter. She said that she feared it was likely that while Anders may be an important figure in whatever force we face, he is unlikely to be sole leader or greatest danger. He prefers to surround himself with allies of even greater power.
This may be very true. It just seemed important. I mean, he is one of the major paragons, is he not?
Most definitely. But not, if we could find another to match him, that would be, well... but where would we begin?
Perhaps we don't need to match him, just knock him down a peg or two.
This from the pacifist. What exactly are you intending to do to make him to use his weakness against him?
I think she looks at you for a long moment, and she just says, if it prevents damage to the greater good, I will leave that up to you, Petrov, what you would do.
Aha.
Okay. I assume that somewhat concludes that particular...
Yeah, I think that's all I got for now.
There's that moment where they, kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. And you guys trail back and fall back in with the rest of the party. So then, the final word of note is... does anyone else have, I should say, and Jackson, you, we'll talk briefly about yours. Or would you like me to do that offline?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I will send you basis of information that you will receive from that, so that you may divulge it how you see fit. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is, as you guys, probably like the night before you arrive at Altdorf, maybe perhaps on the horizon you can see the city, like the torches that light up the night sky, but it's just not close enough to get there in this day's journey. You set up camp, and it has been 2 weeks since the group of you has gained your items, and so you are now attuned to them.
Oh, fuck you, Jordan. Fuck you so hard.
So, Morella,
Yes.
we'll start with you.
There is a question I want to ask.
Yes.
Very briefly. Would Morella have overheard that conversation between Alan and Petrov?
I think specifically you were
figured
doing
not.
it in secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd avoid overhearing, but it's entirely reasonable that the subject could come up in a different conversation. We might be willing to share certain points.
Yeah. That's whether you want to or not. It's simply whether I simply heard something interesting, started peeking into the conversation at a certain point, type of deal. So,
yeah,
but if
I mean,
not,
I
then,
assume maybe it was brought up that, like, hey, you know, this is the current information that we have.
Yeah.
Bleh.
we can talk about that next session if
Okay.
need be.
Morella.
Yes.
Your shield provides you a bonus to your AC against ranged attacks.
Okay.
It should be noted, this includes also ranged spell attacks. It is just ranged attacks. It is not ranged weapon attacks. It is not ranged spell attacks. It is all ranged attacks. So anything to hit your AC from range, as long as you are wielding this shield, you have +2 to your AC. You become quite proficient at avoiding ranged attacks. Remember, I give you these things because I love you.
Yeah.
Next.
Not because of the giant fire-breathing dragon about to attack us.
Next. Farron. One night you are playing your lute, and you begin to feel a power wash over you. And your lute does a specific thing. Where is... Alphabet is hard. Alphabet is hard. Okay, there it is. So one night you're playing your lute, and we already kind of know what one property does, right?
Yeah.
You're playing your lute, and the pan on the fire begins to sizzle and crackle, and you're burning whatever it is. And without even thinking, you reach down and you grab it and you pull it off the fire, and dump it like onto a plate. And everybody around you kind of starts staring at you. And you look down, and you are holding this burning red-hot pan, but you feel no heat from it in your hand. It appears that in addition to the protection from poison, your lute can also grant you protection from energy fire. Additionally, while you play your instrument, you begin noticing that there are birds and small forest critters that begin to gather around you. Your lute also provides you animal friendship.
You become a Disney princess.
This is the best loot in existence.
Congratulations.
Now there's 2 princesses in the group.
Yeah. I flick my hair.
Yes.
Let me find Aylin's. Aylin,
One fucking session.
your bracelet. It has 3 gems. Each one of these gems does a different thing. By using one of these gems, it's red, blue, green, right? By using the red gem, you can cast a free Cure Wounds at 2nd level. It has 2 charges. By using the yellow gem, you can cast 2 free Blesses on a party. The green gem... Oh, and it has 2 charges, right? Bless, 2 charges. The green gem has 1 charge, but it also has the ability to break on a bad roll. But it casts the spell Planar Ally.
Oh, shit.
But using it causes a chance for the gemstone to shatter. And it has 1 charge.
Do these recharge at dawn as per normal?
So
I like how yours is just it shatters and then you just can't use it anymore. That's so nice. That yours does that.
That's her second item, Hannibal. Yours was your first item.
It's so nice.
So recharging at dawn in this particular game is a little bit easy. So most recharge at dawn, I've changed to recharge after a week because we do so much traveling, and typically there's a lot of time in between the two. They'll recharge after 1 week or whenever I say, basically. Like if I want you guys to have them in a day, that's totally fine. But generally, it'll be a week. Finally, Mr. Arkady Petrov. Your horn. Your Horn of Nuln. Should you play it, it will summon a 2d4 plus 2 amount of spirits to your aid. These spirits will be under your command. They'll use their own initiative and they'll use their own attacks. This is not a concentration thing, so if you get hit, it will not interrupt it. The horn has a solid only can be used every 7 days, regardless of anything else. So it's very important that you use it at the right moment.
Can I tell what the capabilities of the spirits are?
Yes, I will provide you with their. They'll have a character sheet, and I will provide you with their character sheet so that you are fully aware of their capabilities. But they're pretty good. They're not shabby.
I believe it.
Yeah. Do you believe in life after love?
No.
Fantastic. And I think that does it. So you all come to this realization right before you enter Altdorf, through various testings and various other scenarios that occur, and that is a good place to end our session.
Quiet.
Yes. What?
No, I'm just. It's all range attack rolls, right? Just attack.
All ranged attack rolls. That anything that targets your AC that is a ranged attack.
Yeah, that includes spells as well.
Correct. So like Firebolt and those kind of spells also apply.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure that I wrote it down right.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Fantastic.
Jeez.
Last but not least, I will provide everybody with, I think this is what I did last time, 1,500 experience for all of the amazing roleplay today. And the cool duels and the cool things that happened. Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Everybody should be creeping ever closer.
I'm so close.
So freaking close.
And I know
Closer.
you're gonna tease me during the next session. I know you're going to do it.
I'm
If
so
you give us 1,500, I'll be 100 away. I'm gonna be real sad.
Yeah.
so far.
I mean, as long as we don't do that thing where we get into combat and you don't give us experience for that week, then I shall be leveling up next week.
No, I think in Nelm he proved that the actual solution is to just not let us have a long rest for a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know my pain.
That is the actual solution. It will never be as bad as Raka, though. Raka was fun to just tease. Just hold it right above his nose.
How long was Raka waiting?
Well, no, Raka always, every single time, was like less than 100 away, and then had to wait like 2 sessions because of combat.
Fine, sure, but we got to the point where we were like a third of the way through the next level by the time we had a long rest.
It was a big event. In this upcoming big event, there will be far more opportunity to rest in between things going on, and I will be providing everybody with some really cool things. I'm going to make it a really good point to make this very good closing climax of the story. So
I'm looking forward to it.
So am I.
Indeed.
However, if you guys have nothing else, that will be it. And I hope everybody will be here next week. I don't foresee any issues, so.
I'm gonna go ahead and head out, guys. I need to sleep.
See you, Jackson. Go get some sleep, man. Get some rest.
Yes.
Feel better.
Rest up.
Good seeing Jackson.
Does anyone have inspiration to get?
Oh, inspiration. That's right.
Yes.
I think there's only 2 people that used it. So those 2 people can have it. That's fine. I'm not picky. I think Farron earned it at least. The very minimum.
Oh yeah.
And Hannibal just because I'm feeling nice. I'll put it on his character sheet.
I didn't have too many rolls. I only did the dueling rolls.
Yeah.
Today.
I gotta be better at giving you guys rolls during non-combat sessions.
It's fine. I set up scenarios. Based on what Merla does. So.
Right, cool. Let me give him.
But yeah, I do. I kind of like that. The dueling.
Yeah, there's some refinement. Even in practice, right here, I realize there's some things that I can do better. I may come up with an actual like thing that you can do, and like, you know, how the balance goes back and forth. My plan is like similar to things like volleyball, where you have to win by 2 points, or tennis, where you have to win by 2 points, something like that. So that it's not just on a single roll. You know, sets and matches depending on if it's to touch, to first blood, to death, right? The whichever one is like the different levels of dueling will mean you have to win by greater margins.
Yeah, I can imagine death having like a significant amount, much more than
like
just touch.
5.
I wouldn't say 5. I'd say like 7.
Yeah, I mean, like,
You have to get at least 5 with 2 more than the other person.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like it's going to be one of those things. I think that like if there is a duel scenario going on, it needs to be relatively like sequestered, right? Like no interference. For it to actually work. And I don't like using hit points in a thing like a duel because that just seems stupid. So like it'll be you win or you lose, but there'll be a gross amount of like skill checks and stuff that go into it.
No, that's okay.
So, but I'll more on that later. Anyway, I'm gonna do outro. You guys, if I don't see you in a few minutes, take care. Have a fun week. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Good one, guys.
Bye, stream.
Bye,
I gotta
stream.
go.
Alright guys, thanks for showing up today. I really appreciate it. It's been hella lot of fun. I hope to see everybody here again next week for more Siege of the Empire, where we will travel to we'll travel through Altdorf, and we will go head up to Mindenheim to hopefully rescue all of the people that are there, and get some good character revealing things going on, and maybe some cool duels and all of that fun stuff. So, without further ado, from all of us here to you, may your 20s always be criticals, and may your D6s always roll high. And as always, you and your PCs, try not to die.